Hello friends, how are you? I hope you all are doing great. Yes, sir. And now in the last lecture, I told you to do some homework. Sir, homework. You never gave us the homework. I told you to revise all the topics that we have covered so far of labor costing before we move on to the next lecture. This lecture, because in this lecture we are going to solve two very good practical problems of ICI module. So I told you to revise each and every topic, and I hope you people have revised it. Yes sir, we are done and dusted with it. We have revised it fully and we are actually enjoying it. Oh, very good. That's good. Now, we were discussing about overtime, right? As per the Factories Act, two provision, 9 hours and 48 hours, 9 hours a day, 48 hours a week. If more than that, entitled to overtime at double the rate, right? Then we have solved some practical problems. Then we discussed about the three scenarios, then how to treat overtime in costing. And we did some practical problems on it also. Now, on the overtime only, we have two very good practical problems from your ICAI module. Great, sir. Illustration number 4. First, we'll be seeing this. Okay. It is seen from job card for repair of customers' equipment that a total of 154 hours have been put in as detailed below. Right. So total working is for 154 hours. Let's see. Worker A paid at rupees 200 per day for 8 hours. Okay, and worker A has worked for this many hours on the individual days, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday. Okay, worker B is paid at the rate rupees 100 per day for 8 hours. And worker C is paid 300 for 8 hours, and these are the working hours given, right? These are the working hours given. Working hours. Clear? So this is given to us. This much is clear. We'll go very slow in this question, right? Try to understand each and everything. I have covered each and everything. Till now, whatever we have understood, whatever I have explained, that is what we are going to use in this. Okay. In terms of an award in employee conciliation, the workers are to be paid dearness allowance, right? Whatever this 200 is given, that is what? That is the basic wages. This 200, this is what? This is the basic wages. This is the basic wages. Okay. Now he says we have to pay the dearness allowance also. Okay. On the basis of cost of living index figures relating to each month, which works out to 968 for the relevant month. Okay, sir. 968 rupees for the whole month. The dearness allowance is payable to all the workers irrespective of wage rates if they are present or are on leave with the wages on all the working days. So DA is to be paid in any of the case, right? Sunday is a weekly holiday. Very good, sir. Party time. And each worker has to work for 8 hours on all the weekdays. That means this is the normal time. This is the normal time, 8 hours, right? And 4 hours on Saturdays. The workers are, however, paid full wages for Saturday. That means 8 hours for 4 hours worked. Right? On Saturdays, the worker has to work for 4 hours only, but he will be paid according to the 8 hours. Overtime is paid twice the ordinary wage rate. If a worker works for more than 9 hours in a day or 48 hours in a week. Sir, what does it mean? What does it mean, sir? 9 hours in a day or 48 hours in a week, sir, something. Already heard these terms. Yes, sir. That means this question is indirectly saying that we have to follow Factories Act 1948. Clear? Because all the three conditions are being satisfied in this question. First, 9 hours a day, 48 hours a week, 48 hours in a week, right? And the overtime is paid at twice the ordinary wage rate. So all the provision of Factories Act 1948 are being included here. That means the question indirectly is specifying that we have to follow Factories Act 1948. Is that clear? Any doubts? Excluding holidays, the total number of hours works out to 176 in the relevant month. Okay, so total hours in a particular month are 176. The company's contribution to Provident Fund and ESI are absorbed into overheads. Calculate the wages payable for each worker. Clear? Now the wages will include, sir, basic plus DA, right? Plus we have to calculate the overtime. Now overtime will be calculated from this data. Now the question is to manipulate this data, how we have to do it. And one very important thing, again I'm saying that overtime is to be calculated as per Factories Act 1948. Now see the smartness of institute. If you look at the study material of November 2020, right, in November 2020 material, what they have done is, in this paragraph they have specifically written that Factories Act 1948 is to be followed. What they are written is workers are paid overtime according to Factories Act 1948. It is clearly given in the November 2020 material, right? This is the updated material of May 2021. In this, what they have done is, instead of writing it directly, they have twisted the wording, right? They have given the provisions of Factories Act 1948, so you have to understand it, that you have to apply Factories Act 1948. This is the smartness of institute. Clear? Now we have to calculate the overtime for A, B and C. This is what we have to do now. First we'll do for worker A. One second, guys. One second. Okay, first we have to do for worker A. Come. So for worker A, first we'll see till this point. Okay, forget about these two columns. I'll explain it later on. Okay, first three columns we'll focus on. First, they are writing is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday. That's fine, sir. It's okay, right? What they have written. Okay. Now the normal hours is 8 hours. That is the normal working hours of the factory, right? It is given in the question, sir. Normal hours are 8. Here it is, right? Then we are taking one column as extra hours. Sir, why these extra hours are given? See, the Factories Act says that up to 9 hours you don't have to pay the overtime, right? So beyond this 8 hours we have some extra hours for which we don't have to pay the overtime, sir. We do not have to pay the overtime. Okay, so that is why this extra hours is extra hours given by Factories Act, right? Up till this point we are not entitled to pay overtime. Then we have overtime hours. If beyond this, then we'll pay overtime hours. Now on Monday, see, A is working for 10.5 hours, right? Out of this 10.5 hours, 8 is normal hours. That is fine, sir. 1 extra hour, because up to 9 hours we are not paying him the overtime, right? So he is working for 10.5 hours, right? So out of 10.5, 8 is the normal hours, 1 extra hour as provided by Factories Act 1948, right? Up till this point, we'll not be giving the overtime. Then additional 1.5 hour, that will be the overtime as per Factories Act, right? Beyond 9 hours if he is working, that will be the overtime. Clear? So this is the bifurcation of 10.5 hours. 8 hours normal, 1 hour extra as provided by Factories Act, right? For this 1 hour, we are not going to pay any overtime. Then beyond this, whatever is, that is overtime. Okay. On Tuesday is working for 8 hours. That is the 8 normal hours, right? Nothing in the extra, nothing in the overtime. Then on Wednesday, he is working for again 10.5, same 8, 1.5. Then 9.5. In case of 9.5, 8 hours is the normal, 1 is the extra, and 8 hours normal, 1 is extra, and 0.5 hours. Clear? That is beyond 9 hours, that will be the overtime. 10.5, again, sir, Saturday he is not working at all. So is that clear, sir? This much is clear to you? Any doubts up till this point? Any doubts up till this point? How we have taken the normal hours, extra hours and overtime hours. Extra hours is as given by Factories Act 1948, because it says that up till 9 hours you are not bound to pay overtime, right? So 8 hours is the normal plus 1 hour is the extra cushion that is provided by Factories Act, up till this point we are not entitled to pay overtime. Beyond this, overtime hours. Any doubt? Right, sir. Now I told you to leave the last two columns. Now we'll consider the last two columns also. I'll remove this. Okay. Now, what is given? This equivalent normal hours for overtime. Remember in the last lecture I told you something. Okay, I'll take you to that point here. Sir, where it was? This part. I told you that whatever earnings you are doing in 1 hour overtime, if you have to do the same earnings in the normal time, then you will have to work for double hours, right? 2 hours of normal time. Now he says, convert this overtime into normal hours, right? Whatever earnings you will be doing in 1.5 overtime, the same earnings you can do in 3 normal hours. This is possible only if we are going by the Factories Act 1948 and the overtime is paid at double the rate. This is possible only then. Okay, so whatever you are earning in 1.5 hours, you can earn the same amount in 3 normal hours, right? This 1.5 is overtime hours, this 3 is normal hours. So what we are doing is we are converting the normal hours into overtime hours. Sir, why we are doing this? So that our whole equation is into normal hours. So what I calculate is total normal hours, that is 8 plus 1 plus 3. Right? This is done for the simplification. Right? We are converting everything into a single variable, that is normal hours. We are not considering any overtime or anything. Right? If you want to consider overtime separately, then it will be a complicated calculation. So this is a smart calculation. That is why I discussed this part specifically and I told you that I'm going to use this in one of the questions, and this is the question where it is used. Clear? Whatever, I'm repeating once again, right? I'm going slow, I'm repeating again and again. Some people might get offended by this. Some people are offended by this, that I'm repeating things again and again, but this is why I'm doing this, so that the things get fit in your mind, right? And if you are getting irritated by this, then please leave the channel immediately. Okay, because I'm going to study, I'm going to teach it my way, because I want absolute clarity for you people. I'm not going to leave any stone. I don't want to leave even a thing that you point out later on that, sir, this is not what we are understanding. Okay. So whatever you are earning in 1.5 hour, this 1.5 of overtime, the same earning you can do in double the normal time. That is 3 normal hours. Clear? I hope this is clear. Similarly for Tuesday, nothing, sir, no overtime. For Wednesday, 1.5 converted into 3. For Thursday, 0.5 into 2, 1 hour. Right? For Friday, 3 hours. For Saturday, nothing, because he's not working. So his total normal hours is 54. So his total normal hours is 54. Clear? Now, coming on to worker number B. Very important. Listen to it very carefully, right? Now, worker B is working for 8 hours every day. Clear? Very simple, straightforward. So, what we have written is, in the normal hours, Monday 8 hours, Tuesday 8, Wednesday 8, 8, and on Saturday we have written 4 hours. Sir, why 4 hours? Read the question carefully. It is given that on Saturday, a worker has to work for 4 hours. That is the normal hours. Sir, but the worker B has worked for 8 hours. Now, what about those 4 hours? Sir, we will take those 4 hours into overtime. Now, many of you ask this question in the last batch, also in the Hindi batch that is uploaded. A lot of queries have come on this question, sir. Why? How we are treating this for worker B and C. I'll explain you each and everything. We'll go slow. Listen to it very, very carefully. Okay. Even if it takes one question in this lecture, I don't mind it. Right. I'll do the next question in the next lecture. I don't have a problem in it. Okay. Now, listen to it very carefully. Sir, this is 44 hours up till this point. Forget about this 4 just. Okay. Now, just tell me one by one. I'll ask you 2 questions. First question. Has worker B worked for more than 9 hours on any day? Has worker B worked for more than 9 hours on any day? No, sir. Is he entitled to overtime? As per this condition, no, sir. Fine. Second condition. Sir, has worker B worked for more than 48 hours in a week? Just tell me this thing. Has worker worked for more than 48 hours in a week? Sir, remember, we are going by Factories Act 1948. The first condition is more than 9 hours. He hasn't worked for more than 9 hours. That means he is not entitled to any overtime. Over. Second condition, has he worked for more than 48 hours in a week? Sir, he has worked for normal 44 hours, right? And entitlement is up till 48 hours, right? That means we have 4 extra hours available as per Factories Act, up till which we don't have to pay him the overtime, and he has worked for these 4 hours on Saturday. So I can't take this 4 hours into overtime. Why, sir? Because he hasn't worked for more than 9 hours. He is neither working for more than 9 hours on any day, nor he has worked for more than 48 hours in a week. So he is under both the conditions. So why I should be paying him overtime? Right? Is he working for more than 9 hours? No, sir. Is he working for more than 48 hours in a week? No, sir. So is he entitled to overtime? No, sir. He is not entitled to any overtime. Right? Total hours is 48 hours worked. It is given here. Worker B has neither worked more than 9 hours in any day or more than 48 hours in a week. So both the conditions are being satisfied. I mean, he is working under 9 hours a day and up till 48 hours in a week. So he's not entitled to any overtime. That is why this 4 is written in extra hours and not in the overtime hours, because this is the extra cushion that is provided by Factories Act 1948. Clear? Coming to C. Let's come to C part now. Worker C. 10.5, 8, 10.5, 9.5, 10.5, 8. So this is the working style of C. Okay. Come to C. What is the normal hours? 8. Extra hours 1, overtime 1.5, as we have discussed in the last part. Okay. Similarly, Tuesday 8 hours, Wednesday again 10.5 hours, right? On Thursday is working for 9.5 hours, right? Again 10.5 hours, that's fine. On Saturday, he is working, till this point he is working as if A is working, right? In the same way. Now on Saturday he is working for 8 hours, right? Out of this, 4 is the normal. 4 is normal. Clear? 4 is normal hours. Okay, sir. Sir, what about the remaining 4 hours that he has worked? Now, you will say, sir, he has not worked for more than, he has worked for more than 9 hours in a day, right? So he is entitled to overtime, so we are providing him. Sir, what about the second condition of 48 hours? See, 44 hours normal, 4 hours extra hours as provided, as cushion provided by Factories Act 1948. Forget about this 4 just now. Forget about this 4, right? Up till Saturday, if you forget about those 8 hours, those 4 extra hours, forget about it right now, right? What is the normal hours? 44. 4 extra hours for the days previous to Saturday, right? So that means up till this point, he has worked for 48 hours, right? Now, if he is working beyond this 48 hours, he is entitled to overtime. Right? What is beyond this 48 hours? Sir, this 4 hours, these 4 hours of Saturday, 4 hours of Saturday, these are not extra hours now. If you put this 4 hours, if you put this 4 hours here, what will happen? Here I will have 8 hours, right? In that case, this condition of 48 hours will be violated. So I cannot put this 4 into extra hours. I cannot put this 4 into extra hours. Okay. So now this 4 is what? This 4 is my overtime, sir. I have to give that person the overtime because he is satisfying the condition. Which condition? 48 hours. He is working for more than 48 hours in a week and he is working for more than 9 hours in a day. Both the conditions he is satisfying. So he is entitled to overtime. That is why in case of B, we are giving him extra hours, not overtime hours, because he's not working for more than 48. But in case of C, we are giving this 4 as overtime because he has already worked till this point, he has already worked for 48 hours. Right? These 4 hours are beyond 48 hours. That is why we are giving him this as overtime. Clear? This is one area where maximum queries come to me. Clear? So equivalent normal hours again multiplied by 2, multiplied by 2, multiplied by 2, multiplied by 2, multiplied by 2. So total normal hours is 8 plus 1 plus 3. Right? This is 8. This is 8 plus 1 plus 3. This is 8 plus 1 plus 1. This is again 8 plus 1 plus 3. And this is 4 plus 8. This is 4 plus 8. Clear? Why we are converting it into normal hours? Because we are converting it into a single variable on the basis that the income earned in one overtime can be earned, the similar income can be earned in twice the normal hours. Any doubts? Right? So you need to be careful where you have to take it in the extra hours and where you have to take it in the overtime hours. Clear? So this is one area. Now is simple, sir. Wages payable, very simple. Basic wages per hour. How, sir? 200 divided by 8. Right? This is, sir, I think 100 divided by 8. What is the rate? The rate that is given in the question. 100 divided by 8. Yes. This is 100 divided by 8. This is 300 divided by 8. Right? What is DA, sir? How the DA has been calculated? Sir, it is on the cost of living index and it turns out to be 968 for the month, relevant month. And he says the DA is to be allowed irrespective of the number of days or number of hours worked. What is the total hours worked? 176. So DA is 968 divided by 176. This will give me the per hour cost, right? This is 968 divided by 176. 176, right, sir? 968 divided by 176. What is the hourly rate? This is the hourly rate combined, right? Total normal hours 54, 48 and 66. So the total wages payable is this. Clear? So this is the hourly rate. Now, if you don't want to, in the examination, if you don't want to convert this, then you will take overtime hours, right? Then overtime, here you will write overtime hours and double the hourly rate. Whatever the hourly rate is, you will multiply it with 2. Clear? Then you will get this total wages payable. You can try that. If you want to do it, you can try that. Take, here the normal hours will be reduced in that case. The normal hours will not be 54, 48 and 66. Right? 48 will remain the same in case of B, but in case of A and C, the normal hours will change. Right? Because we are taking the overtime separately. You want to try it, you can try it. Right? That is up to you. If you want to take it as a homework, that is totally your choice. Clear? So this is a very important question. That's why I've taken so much of time on this question. Right? I hope this is clear. Now, coming to question number 5. We'll do question number 5 in this lecture only. Let's do it. Let's read the question. In a factory, the basic wage rate is rupees 100 per hour and overtime rates are as follows. Before and after normal working hours, it is 175% of the basic wage rate. It means 175% of what? Basic wage rate is 100, right? So that means the overtime is 175 rupees. Now out of this 175 rupees, where it is? Okay, out of this 175 rupees, I'll write it here, 175, 100 is the normal wage rate and 75 is my overtime, right? So we are paying him 175 rupees if he is doing the overtime. Out of this 175 rupees, we are paying 100 rupees as the normal wage rate and we are paying 75 rupees as the overtime rate. Okay. This 175 is not the overtime. This 175 is the total payment that is being done. Out of this, 100 rupees is normal, 75 rupees is overtime. On Sundays and holidays, 225% of the basic wage rate, right? So 225% of 100, that means 225 rupees. Again, out of this 225, 100 rupees is the basic and rest 125 is overtime. Clear? During the previous year, the following hours were worked. So this data is given for the whole year. Normal time 1 lakh, overtime before and after the normal working hours. This one 20,000 and Sundays and holidays is given as 5,000 hours. The following hours have been worked on job Z. So we are given for a particular job. Normal is 1,000, overtime before and after working hours 100 and Sundays and holidays 25, total 1125 hours. You are required to calculate labor cost chargeable to job Z and overhead in each of the following instances. What? Where the overtime is worked regularly throughout the year as a policy due to the workers shortage. Now remember those three scenarios we discussed? Okay. So this is the scenario due to the general nature of business. Now in this case, what we do is we calculate the inflated wage rate. What is inflated wage rate? Sir, normal wages plus overtime wages divided by normal time plus overtime. Right? Now if we have to calculate for this job, first we'll have to calculate what? We'll calculate first inflated wage rate. Inflated wage rate. Right? Let's see the first part. Basic 100, overtime wage rate before and after working hours 100 into 175 per hour, right? This is into two parts, 100 and 75. 225 for Sundays and holidays. This is again 100 and 125. Clear? Calculation of average inflated wage rate. Average inflated wage rate means normal plus the overtime. We are increasing the wage rate per hour. Annual wages for the previous year for normal time 1 lakh hours, it is given to you. It is given to you 1 lakh hours. Sir, where it is given this 1 lakh hours 100 rupees. Any doubt? 1 lakh hours 100 rupees, right? So 1 crore. Clear? Wages for overtime before and after working hours 20,000 hours multiplied by 175, that is 35 lakh. Okay. Then for Sundays and holidays, 5,225, 11 lakh 25,000. So this is the total wages, 1 crore 46 lakh 25,000. That means this is this amount. This is this amount, 1 crore 46 lakh 25,000. That is normal wages paid for 1 lakh hours. Overtime paid for 20,000 plus 5,000 hours. Right? So this is the total wages that we have paid. Now divided by the total hours. What is the total hours? Means normal plus the overtime. This is 1,25,000 hours. Clear? 1,25,000 hours. So what is my rate? 1,25,000 hours. So what is the rate? 117. This is my inflated wage rate. This is divided by 1,25,000. 1,25,000? Yes, sir. Right? So 117. This is my average wage rate, or what we call it as average inflated wage rate. Clear? Right? So now we can charge it to a particular job. Now, A part, when the overtime is worked regularly as a policy, the overtime premium is treated as a part of employee cost. So, total number of hours, that is 1125 multiplied by inflated rate, that is 117. That how, sir? Because we have to calculate it for this particular job, right? First, we calculated the average rate from the data of the previous year, right? from the data of the previous year, we calculated the inflated wage rate. Then using that inflated wage rate, we are finding out the cost for this particular job Z. Clear? Next, when overtime is worked irregularly to meet the requirements of production. Okay, now it is not a regular feature, sir. It is due to the production, because there is an emergency. It is due to the requirements of the production. Now what we'll be doing is, in this case, the basic wage rate is charged to the job, right? Basic wage is obviously to the job, and overtime is charged to factory overheads. What is factory overhead, sir? This we will study in the next chapter of overheads. Don't worry about it. It is just an additional cost. It is an indirect cost, right? We will not charge it directly to a particular job. Clear? We are charging this overtime to all the jobs, and then we are going to recover it. We'll study in the chapter of overheads, right? Nothing to worry about it. Just remember one thing: if it is irregularly, then basic rate on the total hours. For 1125 hours, we will be paying 100 rupees. Yes, sir. Whatever is the overtime is 100 hours. Overtime is 125 hours. For 100 hours, overtime is 75 rupees. I told you, out of 175, 100 is normal. 100 we have paid here, right? Whatever is overtime premium is only 75 rupees for 100 hours, and for 25 hours, this 125, right? So this is the amount that we are not directly charging to a particular job. We will charge it to the factory overheads, and then we will recover it from the customer. How we are recovering it, we'll study in the chapter of overheads. Nothing to worry about it. Okay. Third part. Where overtime is worked at the request of customer to expedite the job. Now we'll charge it to that particular customer, the whole amount, right? The whole amount will be charged to the job, that particular job. Clear? Job Z employee cost 1125 on the basic rate is paid 100 hours, 75 multiplied by 75 and multiplied by 125. This total amount will be charged to the job. Okay. Sir, why 75 and 125 on 125? Because basic rate has been already paid on this 100 hours, na? Or alternatively, what you can do is, you can take it as, okay, if you don't want to do it like this, I'll give you the alternative presentation for this for better clarity. If you people are confused with this thing, I'll give you an alternate presentation how you can do it. You can write it as 1000 hours multiplied by 100. Clear? Then you can write it as 100 hours multiplied by 175. Then you can write it as 25 hours multiplied by 225, right? You can present it as this also, because the whole amount is being charged to a single job. You cannot do this thing in case of part B, because in case of part B, we want to find out the overtime premium. This 75 is my overtime premium. This 75 is my overtime premium, right? Only this 75 rupees is to be charged to factory overheads. That is why I have to bifurcate it. But in the third part, you can do it like this, because the whole amount is to be charged to a particular job. So you can do it like this also. Nothing to worry. Clear? So this is again an important question. You need to understand. See, everything is out of what we have already discussed. That's why I told you that you need to revise carefully, revise thoroughly what we have studied before listening to this lecture. Clear? So what your homework is, you have to practice this. Okay. So with this, the overtime topic is complete. Nothing else to be done in this overtime topic, right? Overtime topic is complete. Now you want to practice as much questions you can, right? So in the next lecture, we'll be starting with a new topic, that is incentive schemes. Again, a very important topic, very interesting topic. And most importantly, for CA intermediate new course, most of the incentive schemes have been deleted. Only 2 or 3 we have to study, and that is what we are going to do, right? For rest of the people, like for CMA students or for CA old course students who have to cover all the incentive schemes, they can refer to the other lectures, right? The lectures that are already uploaded. In that lecture number 23 to 27, I have discussed all the incentive schemes there. You can listen to it from there. Okay, in these lectures I'm going to cover only Halsey and Rowan plan. Time rate, straight piece system, uh, right, and then Halsey and Rowan plan. This is what we have to discuss in the incentive schemes, and we'll be doing the practical problems on it, right? So see you guys in the next lecture. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you so much.